I don't even know if I could say good morning, but hey, this is Marsha Denise Fulham, the author of Confessions of Church Girls, also the proud mother of Jada Louise and Enzel Marsha. Oh, that was Sunlight. So I was having a conversation with my oldest daughter, Jada, last night. Shout out to Jada. And I wanted to come on here to talk about the overlooked pause or second. I really appreciated our conversation, but then as I was getting ready this morning, someone fell on my mind. So I paused and I sent this person a text message because they felt heavy on my heart. And it was kind of triggered by something that I had just watched. And I was like, this is for them. And so it made me think about how many times, if we're not careful, we can overlook the importance of a pause or a second. And we can take for granted how much power is in a pause or in a second. And I know for me, I'm like, sometimes I feel like there's not enough time in a day, right? And I feel like, ooh, I don't got time. But then lately, I've been really trying to be intentional in getting back to being who I truly am and making sure I'm pouring seeds into people, because I know the value in being intentional, but I know the value of encouragement, because I know because people took the time, like my mom and other people, to just be intentional about encouragement, being intentional about reminding me who I am. It has a lot to do with why I think and do the things that I do today. So I wanted to come on here real quick while I took a pause to come in my car and regroup a little bit and to look at the beautiful sky and get some vitamin D in my life. I've been doing that more often, which I should say, I don't know how many of you work indoors a lot, and if you're not careful, you're just sitting there on your computer or looking at your monitors or in meetings, especially Zoom meetings or with people, and you don't take the time sometimes to have a break or, to just go outside. So I made a promise to myself this week that I'm gonna pause or take a second and be intentional to see the beauty of Hawaii. I've lived here for a very, very long time, but sometimes I take for granted, maybe because I'm chocolate. And I used to really struggle with being chocolate because I got teased so bad about being dark-skinned that I think I avoided the sun. But now I've learned to appreciate it, because there's so many people that are trying to be chocolate, going in those tanning bars and all that other stuff. But I was born that way, that I've learned to appreciate my skin and just appreciate that this is how God wanted me to be. So I digress by saying that I've been more intentional by coming outside and just taking it all in and taking walks. So yesterday I walked down the street. So that also ties into what taking a time to take a second or pause. So in saying that, as I'm taking the second to pause, right, I just want you to know that you can not only just benefit others, you can benefit yourself when you take time to pause, and don't overlook how important it is. And just be random. Sometimes it can be random, and sometimes people can fall on your heart, right? But the more you pour and the more you sow, you can't help but reap, right? And you can do it with no expectation, because I know that I'm a giver by nature. And oftentimes I'm disappointed because I give. And sometimes people don't reciprocate or they're selfish, but it's okay. That's not going to change Marsha. That rhymed, if y'all didn't catch that. So do not overlook the second or the pause, and allow yourself to pause and take a second to really appreciate others, right? Pause and take a second to have conversations with people. Pause and take a second to be grateful. Pause and take a second to just take in the beauty of outside. Maybe you don't live in a hot climate. Maybe you live in a cold climate. Just pause and take a second. And one of the things I always tell Jada is the two things you can never get back. One of the two things you can never get back is free throws. And for some people, one of my coworkers asked me, what's free throws? So I'm going to explain that. That's at a basketball game, if you get fouled, you can go to the line, and then it gives you the potential to score extra points, right? So I always get kind of irritated, super irritated when professional players or regular players miss their free throws because it can make or break a game, right? So also the other thing you don't want to waste or is time, right? And you can't get it back. So can't get free throws back and you can't get time, right? So make sure that you're not overlooking seconds and opportunities to pause and to pour into people's life, because you may look up and those people that you thought are available are no longer available anymore, right? So don't take people for granted. I know that there's people that I love that are no longer here, and I wish that I could talk to them. I wish that they were still living, but they're not. So for all the people that are still alive, I just want to be more intentional. So in saying all of that, I hope that you're having a great day. And I want to pause and take a second for those of you that haven't heard that you're doing a great job, or you haven't heard to keep going, or you haven't heard that things will work out for the good for you. Or hey, you might just need to hear that it's time to get it together, or to put your big girl panties on, or your big boy drawers, right? Just keep going, because the best is yet to come. And it's important what we feed our mind, right? It's important what we say. And when you feel like you can't keep going, or when you feel depressed, shake it off, right? We have so much to be grateful for. So don't overlook the second or the pause. All right, this is Marche Denise Fulham, the author of The Confessions of Church Girls, proud mother of Jada Louise and Anzel Marche. And what I know for sure is God has a plan, and he does not lie. Take a minute, a second to pause and to pour into other people's lives, and as well as yourself. All right, I'm out. Talk to you soon.